Hi everybody, Kurt Davis here in Memphis, Tennessee. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to do another video here about property management and kind of give everybody an idea or kind of a generalization on how property management companies operate here in Memphis in regards to primarily the fees that are associated with. A lot of investors who are purchasing here in Memphis, a good majority of them from the United States anyways, are from California. I know that our company, as well as many other property providers here, do a great deal of business with California investors. And a lot of these California investors own property of their own, other rental properties in California. So property management fees are a little bit different in California. I've got a couple sources here that I'm going to talk about, and as well as actual information that I spoke to one of my clients today on the phone who has purchased property from me here in Memphis, and he's also a realtor in a realtor in California, and he owns rental property out there. So after reading this article, I called him to get his take on the scenario. So I read an article today online, and it was from the Huffington Post. And the article was titled, California Rent Second Highest in Nation. So I read the article and I kind of jotted down a few notes here, so bear with me. It says that California is the second least affordable state behind Hawaii. In California, the fair market rent, as determined by the U.S. Housing and Urban Development, or better known as HUD, for a two-bedroom apartment is $1,341 a month. Wow. We're not used to that here in Memphis, I can tell you that. It says 3 out of the 10 most expensive metropolitan areas were in California. San Francisco, Orange County, San Jose, Sunnyvale, Santa Clara, Santa Cruz. Those are just to name some of them. And it lists other counties in California. I mean, just really kind of cut and dry. California is expensive, and that's probably one of the major reasons why California investors are looking to cities like Memphis, Kansas City, Atlanta, places like that. So after reading this article, I thought to myself, I was going to call my client. So I called him on the phone, and I asked him some of these basic questions. And here's what he told me. Now understand, he's a realtor, and he also does some property management in California. So this is information that came right from the source. In Long Beach, California, you would get a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 850 square foot condo that'll rent for about $1,500. In Irvine, a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo would rent for right around $1,900, and a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, single-family home with covered parking, would rent on average in the $2,300 range. And he said that $2,300 is kind of on the lower end of on the lower end of the rental. It would get higher from there. Now, I asked him about property management fees. What are typical management companies doing for fees in California in these areas? Now, he told me that most management companies that he has done business with will charge a placement fee, which would be a flat rate of anywhere from $99 to maybe $199 and upwards of $495 for a placement fee. And then they'll charge anywhere between 8 and 10% for monthly management rates. Because most questions that investors have when we're dealing with them and they ask about property management, they want to know what the placement fee is and they want to know what the monthly management fee is. Well, here in Memphis, I'm very familiar with a lot of the other top management companies in town, and what we experience here in Memphis is placement fees will run anywhere from 50%, 75%, or a full first month's placement fee, and property management will also be in that 8 to 10% range. Now, I know that from a lot of Californians, when they hear that, they instantly think back to maybe what they're getting in California, and they freak out. They don't like that. The thing that you have to kind of keep in mind, I guess, is that properties rent cheaper here in Memphis as opposed to in California. So if you have, say for example, we're just going to use 10% as a management fee. A house renting out for $2,000 a month in California, they're going to make, $200 a month in management fees. Here in Memphis, charging 10%, that same $2,000 house in California is really probably equivalent to an $800 a month house here in Memphis, so there's only $80. So there's that big of a difference. So, you know, and people need to understand too that, you know, you as the investor, you know, if you're a California investor and you're not necessarily happy with the management company's fees, you know, you should definitely shop around. There's a lot of management companies here in town, but keep in mind, cheaper is not always better. You know, being in property management really is a tough business. You know, a lot of people that I talk to kind of, you know, it could turn your soul black real fast just because it's really kind of a thankless job, but, you know, somebody has to do it. You know, typically management companies only hearing from investors if they're unhappy. You know, they're chasing down tenants maybe that are not paying rent, they're late on rent. In order for management companies to truly be effective, you know, they are going to have to hire qualified staff who can run the show. You know, they have to pay leasing agents, and to keep good leasing agents, you know, they have to pay them a decent fee or a wage. You have to have qualified office staff. So really kind of the whole point in stating all of this is so that investors who are from California or outside of markets like mine here in Memphis will kind of understand what the fees are here. And the fees that I did mention for Memphis are very, very standard. You know, they're going to be in that 8 to 10% range. And placement fees are anywhere between 50% to a full first month's rent, and I actually see more companies are getting closer to that 3/4 of the month to a full placement fee. That's just kind of where the market's going, and to keep the good help, that's what it's going to take. So hopefully this video has helped you out a little bit as far as what fees are. Anyone here in Memphis will kind of understand what people are being charged in California, so they understand where they're coming from as well. So check out my other videos on YouTube. Hope you've enjoyed. Have a good day.